This show is brought to you by our friends at bayphoto.com. Head over after the show to print something amazing. Be sure to check out their specials at bayphoto.com/specials. This is from our friend Mache. A
Wow.
dramatic over the city, shot and edited in phone.
I'm just trying to process what I'm looking at here.
Yeah,
So
it takes a second.
it looks like a wall or something. It's
Yeah, I'm
flat.
guessing looks like graffiti art wall
Yeah,
potentially,
it's an
or at
art
least somebody
wall.
commissioned art on it.
It looks like an art wall. I mean, that's definitely high class graffiti. No, that's an actual art wall. And those
Oh yeah,
clouds are just awesome. You did a great job processing and you did it on your phone. Wow. I'm
yeah.
impressed. So you've got a lot of dynamic range there, which I'm a big fan of, having studied Ansel Adams. It's always the thing I look for is the widest dynamic range that I can get without an HDR. And you've got a lot of blacks, you've got a lot of whites, so your dynamic range is perfect. I don't have anything to critique you on. There's nothing. The only thing on that very bottom piece, I would just probably burn that a little bit, but it's really difficult to do that on a phone. If you're using Lightroom mobile, you can do that. You can do local adjustments. It's not easy. I have a hard time getting really accurate local adjustments with my finger. I'd rather do it with a mouse. That's tiny little point, but otherwise spot on. Thank you for sending that.
All right.
Very interesting.
This one is from David. This is a photo of Frank Gehry's design of the J. Pritzker Pavilion in Chicago. Frank Gehry has
Pritzker.
stated Pritzker
Yeah.
Pritzker Pavilion in Chicago. Frank Gehry has stated that he regards himself as being as much of a sculpture as an architect. The pavilion
Yeah.
hosts, yeah.
His work
But
is amazing. Absolutely amazing. And Pritzker, interesting is, I could tell you a little story. So, started, I believe, Hilton
ah,
Hotels. They're big in the hotel industry. And John Pritzker, grandson, I think, is a avid photographer. Avid photographer. He donated the fourth floor, the third of the fourth floor of the San Francisco Museum of Modern Art, where the photography collection is housed. And I had the pleasure of meeting with him some time ago. He has a collection of photographs from Richard Avedon. Unbelievable. All sorts of photographs. Anyway, so big photography fan in that family. So there's a lot. Anyway, that's a side note because it really has nothing to do with this photograph except it's in that plaza. But that's a cool sculpture for sure.
mm-hmm.
There's no question that sculpture and architecture, when does it leave the realm of sculpture versus, a utilitarian building? And look at Frank Lloyd Wright. They were all
Yep.
sculptures, and he Gaudi in um, Spain, also same kind of thing, just a sculpture. And here we have another fine example. So you captured it well, and you've got some really good tonality there. It's really well exposed. Nothing is burnt out. You're just dealing right on the edge here of that top little sheen there. Yeah, over to the left.
Nope, this one.
Yeah, right there. Yeah. I mean, okay, who cares? It's slightly blown out, but big deal. That's in order to expose that, you probably had to just, if you tone it down, I don't think it's really helping the photograph at all. So just leave it. And, you've just got some wonderful tonality. I'm curious how you processed it. Did you use Silver Effects Pro as I recommend? Because you've got some really good tonality in your image there. And it absolutely works well as a black and white. Good job. I hope you don't mind my little excursions. I hear these stories, I hear that name. I can't help but tell the story. I need to reach back to him, actually. It's a good reminder. Okay.
All right. Our next one, this is from Cheryl.
Oh, yes.
Feel free to submit this photo for the critique. Looks simple, but the lighting situation was complicated, mixing natural light and artificial light. The light is a bit hot on the head of the dog. You can see the bulb in my hand as I wanted that.
Oh, yeah, there it is.
My editor wanted an author photo for the book. I wrote we were in a pandemic, so this was the solution. So this is, I guess, a photo of herself for a book that she's writing. Okay, I get it now. Yeah, this is a photo from a book, so it's her own author photo.
And Cheryl reached out to me. Apparently, so we met, it must be, 14, 15 years ago, walking my golden retriever of the day. And we met, and somehow she followed me around. So thank you. It really works well. I wouldn't worry too much about that hotspot. Okay, big deal. You could, I don't know if you can burn it in a little bit, maybe. Just remember, when you are exposing into an area with a lot of bright sunlight, just use your exposure compensation on your camera and bring it down a stop or two. It's better to be underexposed. You can always bring up the highlight or the shadows, but when you do overexpose something and it's burnt out, that's gone. That's a gone thing. So I'm always moving my exposure compensation around. And Jared and I just finished an edit this week of me going out on a photo walk, and I'm talking about that very point. That's going to be coming up as a special offer pretty soon. You'll hear about it. I'm going to be doing some webinars and whatnot. But anyway, I think, your expression is what really comes across here. The expression beats perfection any day, according to Bambi Cantrell, and that's absolutely true. I like the way you let the background just fade out into black. The framing of you and the dog works really well. You're using an air bulb release. That's very interesting. So I'm wondering what camera you use, because our modern digital cameras don't accept those. You use a little digital clicker thing. So I'm not sure if you shot it with film or just possibly an older digital camera. That's kind of unique. But I could see that working really well for your book. You could, by the way, if you wanted to get rid of the cord, you could easily do that in Lightroom or Photoshop. Just clone it over and just get rid of it, or use the healing brush and just carefully kind of mask that area. But you did a good job, and I think it'll work for your book. And congratulations on a new book. You wrote me about it, and I hope that goes really well. And again, thanks for joining us here today.
Yeah. David got back
prosted in Lightroom. Photo. Okay.
Yeah. So
try Silver FX Pro. It's just a remarkable piece of software that I use only. It's the only thing I use to process black and white. Other than the fact that we do have some AYP presets. You guys don't know about this, but we're up to about 30. We're going to get 50 total of 50 presets that you can use in Lightroom, and a couple of them, actually a chunk of them, are black and white. One is emulating Cartier-Bresson, another is emulating Edward Weston, another famous photographer. And those are presets that we've created by looking at their photographs and trying to match those tonalities. Those will also be coming out pretty soon. We have a boatload of stuff coming out within the next month or two that you've never seen or heard of. So stand by. AYP is
Very
about to
excited.
go in it's about to go in a whole new direction. 3 new PDFs, composition guidebook that you can put on your phone and take out with you in the world. One on the inner workings of your camera, everything you want to know about your camera. And the last one is about processing in Lightroom. And a new Lightroom course. And as I said, these presets, we got a lot of stuff that you have not even heard about. It's all coming out soon. Please subscribe and enable the bell so you don't miss any of our new shows. Like the video and please share it and leave your comments. I love hearing from you. And remember to get out and capture your own images of life.